It's actually a Gough Whitlam quote. It's, I believe the words are, when faced with an impasse, you've either got to crash through or crash.
Unfortunately, the Whitlams was already taken, so crash through was, the next best thing.
I think it went really well. I think we're pretty tight, and I think we're ready to play a good gig on Saturday night and record on Sunday. I'm looking forward to it.
We nailed it. It's good. Shadow boxing's coming together a lot. It's just starting to. It was tight tonight, and it's interesting because I had a really long day and I'm really tired, and Rich is pretty buggered too. But you find a second wind at practice, and we nailed it. It was good.
We've got it down, I think. We found our sound, even though we're necking beers and jumping around like idiots, we're still focused in a way, not in some, we've got to be regimented and this is our big play for stadium stardom kind of way, but in the way that we've kind of got it down to what we really like, and I think we're all happy with how it sounded tonight.
Oh, I've known Phil and Rich for a long time. I used to play in a couple of bands. Before we were crushed through, the three of us were in a 5-piece band called the Penny Dreadfuls.
First time I ever saw Tim, he was on stage at Bar Broadway in another band. He'd just set fire to his drumsticks.
They put foil and wrapped a bandage and dipped it in metho and lit it and played.
Lit it with burning. You played with burning drums. Doesn't that melt the plastic of the drum?
It did.
And played a solo before, and carrying on with the rest of the gig, and managed to put them in a glass of water afterwards. And it's that combination of reckless mayhem and consideration for his fellow bar patron that made me think that one day I should play in a band with that guy. With Richard, it was actually meeting him at uni and playing a few jam nights.
I met Phil at uni when we set up a music appreciation society together, and I jammed with him and played with him a bit, and I've known him for quite a while. Tim, I met when I joined the Penny Dreadfuls, which was the band which came before Crash Through. That was with Carl English and Luke Collings as well, and we kind of rose from the ashes of the Penny Dreadfuls. Well, I had a whole lot of friends around to one of our gigs, and one of them went, "Wow, I don't listen to grunge music, but you guys were excellent." And another one said, "I never thought you'd be in a punk band." And I told the guys this, we play rock, and it's simple as that. We play rock and roll.
It's a dirty rock in a way. It's kind of old-fashioned. It's something that hopefully doesn't sound too predetermined. It's its own loose sound. Like, we've got a love of improvisation. And
it started out very kind of pure rock and blues, and now we're starting to get a bit of pop elements in there. And it's constantly evolving.
I guess I know it's not right Shadowboxing. Basically, the songs we're putting on the EP. The one song I probably really love that we're not putting on the EP is one called Lost in the Sound, which just got this really crazy, dirty, funky vibe, but it's also really unpredictable.
I Know It's Not Right. I don't know why. I'm usually like the more rocky ones, but I don't know. I just like the way it builds up, the way it flows, the way the dynamics of it, like it's kind of soft at the start and gets louder and then...
I really like, we've got a song that Phil wrote called Sunlight, and it's kind of like a positive, punkish kind of thing. And I tried to make my bass line sound like Paul McCartney because he's my favourite bass player. And I think I've succeeded. I use arpeggios and scales and things to make the bass bouncy and interesting.
Freedom, I think. It's like every other time when you're playing music, there's kind of this feeling of you've got to do what people expect from music. You've got to present something to them, you know. You're playing, it's like, what are you doing here? What's the career path? But when we're on stage doing gigs, there's nothing else to it.
There's just a kind of thrill of being on stage.